I don't know. I don't know what it is with me and magicians. I just never clicked with them. You know what I'm saying? The best is I got a war going on with a magician till this
What?
day.
What do you mean a war?
A war. It's a fucking war. This war started in 1985, 1986. That's how this is going to last longer than the Hamas war. This
It
war,
already has it.
huh?
It's like 40 something years old. What do you've had a 40-year war with a magician?
Yeah. He even made a YouTube tape about me.
So this predates comedy. What happened with this magician?
You don't remember that whole thing when Jimmy Schubert was telling us that he made a video and then I found it? And he's like, I can't talk enough about Joe Diaz. He's the worst human being in the world. He robbed me. You don't remember that shit?
I don't remember a lot of the church.
All right, so
I gotta look. I vaguely remember, but no, I don't remember this video.
look, I was a 19-year-old gangster out of Jersey. I'm living in fucking Snowmass Village, Colorado, and they gave me a job. My buddy was the head chef, and he says to me, Joey, you're a muscular dude. You like steak? I go, yeah. He goes, why don't you come in and wash dishes on Tuesday? I'll give you fucking 10 pounds of prime rib, and then you could steal whatever you want on the way home. It only pays $75 or something. I'm like, yeah. You know, I did it one day a week, but then it was fucking a great job. I'm not embarrassed to say I didn't. I love dishwashing. I would get high. I would put music on the back, and I would just load up the fucking dishwasher and spray it, get nice and wet. The whole night I'd be eating. I'd take breaks. I was allowed to go out and smoke reefer. I came back in if I wanted a lobster tail to do make it for me. So I went from working Tuesdays to like Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then they asked me to come in the daytime and prep 1 or 2 days a week. So I would go in there. They were training me to be a sous chef. At that time, yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I had an opportunity, and I would go in there 2 days a week. But in the daytime, you're in there alone. So you were allowed to go to the bar and put ice in the soda and fill your own soda. This guy did a trick. You know those fans that spin around?
Mm-hmm.
The bar had ceiling fans all around. The place would pack up during ski season. It was John Denver's restaurant. What did you expect? The thing would spin around all night. He would go up to the people and say, I could do a magic trick. There was like 3 magicians working the room.
Oh,
this
shit.
Was a great little fucking bar. And they had great food. It was like a 5-star restaurant. It was called The Tower. And every night, the guy would go, I'm going to put he would come out with a deck of cards.
Okay.
And he would, I'll bet you whatever you want that you put your money on top of the card. I put a thumbtack on it. I could throw it up and it goes up in between the fans. If it sticks, I keep your money. Dog, people would come from all over the world and drop $50 bills, $100 bills. There was no 5s or 10s there. This is 1983. $20 in 1983, it was like a whole fucking Chinese meal, right? So I go in there one day in the afternoon and I noticed that one of the ceilings is lower. And I was athletic then, so I would jump up high and take like a 20 or a 50 off the ceiling. Every time I worked, I took like $50, $100. You know, I would take down 5 20s and shit, 250, $100 bill. And then there was an area where it was just $100 bills. I figured out, fuck, I don't need to jump. I'll stand on top of a bar stool. There was no cameras then, and I'd take like 200, 300. It was all going into my criminal bankroll that I was coming back to the East Coast. I was just preparing. This went on from fucking November to like January.
Jesus. Why would he leave it up there?
Huh?
Why did he leave all that money up there?
At the end of the season, he would take it down. He'd break it up with the other magicians.
Oh, okay.
There'd be like fucking 30,000 each fucking magician. And that was fine. I ain't mad at you. But if you're going to leave your money exposed, you got people like me walking around. They didn't have cameras in those days. They had nothing. So for fucking 3 months, Lee, I would go up there and whatever. If I had a broomstick, sometimes I'd go in there and make believe I was fucking sweeping. Pop, I'd drop a yardstick down. One day, I went back to New Jersey and the end of the theft. So he in his mind, he goes, This guy disappeared, so he wasn't sure. But now I go back up there in 85. And actually, I go to the bar one night, and I actually pull like a 50 off. I'm just hanging out with like some guys, and I go, fuck it. I used to do this all the time. I took a 50 off, and I told somebody. Somebody was with me. They repeated it. And then I left there. I went back to Bolden 87. I forgot all about it. This is fucking 2010. Somebody comes up to me and says that they went to the Magic Castle.
Right.
There was a guy that was a big-time magician in Aspen. And I said to the guy, is his name Doc? And he goes, yeah. I go, oh, shit. He goes, that guy is great. I go, no, he's great. But I can't believe that guy's still alive. So that night I went home. I was living in Hollywood. I went home and actually called the Magic Castle, and they told me that this guy worked there, and what times he would go on and what nights. So from then on, every time somebody told me they were going to the Magic Castle, I'd say, ask the Doc and tell him Joey Diaz sends his love.
Okay.
And every time somebody would go in there and go, Joey Diaz sends his love, he'd go, tell him please to go fuck himself. He robbed me. He robbed me for thousands. And they would go off on, and then I'd see the people we play, and they go, what'd you do to that guy, Joe Diaz? He's fucking furious. He's old. He's still fucking cursing your name. He's talking about his girlfriend and shit. So this just went on. I just kept sending people. And the manager at the Comedy Store goes to the Magic Castle a lot. So every time he went, he tortured the guy. Yo, Joey Diaz sends his love. Yo, Joey Diaz sends his love. Then Jimmy Shub. Jimmy Shub is the only magician that I love. But I would still bust his balls. Like if I went to Jimmy Shubert's house and he had the pigeons out, I'd tell him to cover him up. I don't want to see no magic fucking pigeons.
I don't think he has pigeons at his house.
Yeah, he had 2 white birds at his house always when I first got to LA. And I would go, why do you have 2 white birds? And he goes, I use those for my magic act. Magic act? You better put another line of coke out there and tell me the story. I didn't know nothing about no magicians here.
Oh, I love it.
So, you ready for this one? Jimmy Shubert gets a job at the Magic Castle.
Okay.
And he's actually there one night. He doesn't know that me and Doc got a riff. He's standing next to Doc one night, and some guy comes in and goes, are you Doc? And he goes, yeah, Joey Diaz sends his love. And Jimmy says his whole body language just changed, and he ran into the back and slammed the door, and then he threw something at the wall in there. And when he came out, Jimmy said to him, what's going on with you? And he goes, that fucking Joey Diaz, do you know him? And he goes, yeah, he's my buddy. He goes, he's no good. He robbed my money off the ceiling and shit like that. And now he has the gall to send people in there and send me his love constantly.